We hot. We hot. We here. We made it. Happy to see you. Happy to see y'all. I can't see y'all, but I know y'all there in spirit. We got some shit to talk about. UFC 274 went crazy. -1. -1 fight. But it was lit. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. It's me, Armanni T. I got B in the house right now. Hey, let's get it.
That's what my glow up in lightning. Hot, yeah, something like lightning. This shit a hit on my psychic. She want me lick, I'm excited. See, I feel that's my business, and that's why I'm business minded. Need a push, get behind it. It's science, apply it. Worst come to worst, you tried it. Get it bad, get inspired. Shoot your shot, just the effort. I admire. You're high, it ain't looking for friends at this point.
Oh my God,
my circle is smaller than the point. I'd rather sit in voice than hearing the fake on their voice.
We already have. Okay, so we about to get right into it. Like we do it, like we always do it, because we gotta do it like that, because there ain't no way to do it besides that way. There's no cap recap. Let's get into it.
You just kept going.
It's gonna keep going every time. Every show is gonna just add. I'm gonna add more onto it. Just got to. So Journey Newsom versus Fernie Garcia. Journey Newsom, unanimous decision. It was just. It seemed like his conditioning was there. That's the one thing that will shine through all 3 rounds, all 5 rounds, is that conditioning. And but Fernie wasn't just being put away easy. So the chin was there, and it just seemed like Journey Newsom was just a levels ahead.
Yeah, Newsom also had those leg kicks, the takedowns. He was beating the body up every time he got to the ground. And, Garcia just seemed like he was on autopilot, trying not to get knocked out.
Yeah, towards the end, it seemed like he had more of a dominant first round where he was kind of pushing forward more. But Journey Newsom's punches would seem like it was just volume. And Fernie Garcia was, he would catch him every once in a while, and Journey Newsom's conditioning is the thing that saved him and held him through it every time that he got touched. Because like Fernie Garcia definitely got some heavy hands, and that's obvious.
Yeah, and he was quick to get back up on his feet every time he was taken down. So he had the cardio. The cardio was there.
Yep. And the conditioning speaks to the damage that you can take as well. Like a punch to the head will, like, if you eating cheeseburgers, hamburgers all day, and you're not in the gym, like, it's a lot easier to get knocked out. Other than somebody who's kind of training in the gym, they might get touched every once in a while, and they learn to kind of focus back through it whenever they get buzzed. So it's certain things that people do that really help them from really getting knocked out. And he did a good job. He did a good job staying with it. He just got to keep his hands up a little bit more.
Yeah, but he was right on the money twice with the punch and the kick to the face. So Newsom was doing something right. And that's why I understood why it was a unanimous decision.
Yep, that's why it was no question about the unanimous. No question. Speaking of no questions about the unanimous. Speaking of no questions, you got Loopy, Godinez versus Armanni T. And Loopy Godinez went in there to, like, it's almost like she could have ended it if she wanted to. But at the same time, Connie Alaski is a dog. That's somebody who she wasn't just going to put out easy. Who I thought she might have big problems with. But she went out there and showed that she was just a complete few levels ahead of her. It was obvious.
Yeah, and then in round 1, there was a lot of coaching for Connie Alaski from the commentators. They're not supposed to be coaching her, but you could tell who they was rooting for by, once again, the coaching didn't go their way. And she wasn't able to get her shot off because Loopy was all over her and in her face, and she stayed busy and kept her close, so she couldn't get any shots off that she wanted to, because just Loopy did a great job being in
And
her
the
face.
takedowns, though.
Oh
Takedowns.
man.
Excellent takedown in the sense of turning the corner, like literally getting those legs over your chest and turning the corner, like, yeah.
She took her airborne 3
Yeah.
times. So she was just like
The
making
strength
a
was there.
mockery
The
of that
strength was
woman.
there.
Yeah.
For
Broke her.
sure.
She broke her. She broke her.
She did. You know, I thought Connie Alaski actually like really had a chance, and like I thought she may have won that one, but good thing this is one of the ones that I don't think I even bet on. I don't think I bet on this one because I was not sure which Connie Alaski was going to show up. But Loopy Godinez is showing that she's about to be on a run. She's showing that she's ready to fight again.
Yep.
And that's the part that we like to see. Like, okay, when we gonna see you again? Okay, next up. But next up, Rodriguez versus CJ Vergara, split decision. What you think about that?
I think they had it right.
Split?
Yeah, I think because it was rough. There was a lot of coaching for Rodriguez in the beginning, but he kicked the shit out of him in the beginning. So he was like coming in, making a statement, and he was beating up the entire body in round 1. So there was no doubt who won round 1. But, you know, there was also coaching for Vergara in round 1. It seems like the tides have shifted. Maybe they wanted to be a little bit more interesting fight. So they're trying to coach for both parties. And he came out very, very strong. But at the end of the day, his ground and pound, it was strong. It carried him a lot. And he sat him down with that knee. And so I think he was just much more memorable.
Yeah, in certain moments for sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. CJ Vergara, he a dog. Like, it was to see him constantly walk down Rodriguez, who's like a striker, you know, and he felt that pressure too, but he kept marching forward. And it's almost like he was just walking through that Muay Thai stance and really just working past it. And it's just like that's discouraging if you're a Muay Thai striker. Like, you just keep throwing strikes, and it's like, damn, you still like, you not backing up a little bit. Like, I still gotta work.
Yeah.
Like, so, and that's the part where, you know, I could see where Rodriguez was pretty much he was staying focused, but he was swinging where he needed to survive. Like, he was trying to stay active because he knew that CJ Vergara was coming forward the whole time.
Yep, and he was going to stay active as well. So
shout out to CJ Vergara. But it's just like CJ Vergara, when somebody shows you like a chin like that, it lets you know that his matchups, the selection of matchups have expanded greatly for him, because a lot of times people don't have that chin to really make it up the ranks. And I think that CJ Vergara has that potential, you know, just with a little bit of hands up.
Yeah.
A little bit
hands
more
up, chin down.
Yeah. But yeah, good fight. That was a good fight though.
Yeah.
Back and forth. Split decision. Yeah, I feel it. But this unanimous for Tracy Cortez versus Melissa Gatto. Unanimous? I don't know, but if we're talking about ground control, all right.
Because she had ground control, but Gatto, she used her lane. She used her length to her distance, to her advantage, and kept her at bay for the most part. When she could, she used her lane.
See that, and to me, that's not good using your lane.
And then she was really focused. What got annoyed with me was she was so focused on getting an arm bar once they went to the ground that she missed other opportunities where she could have got the submission, but she was so focused on the arm bar. And I'm like, girl,
or got up
position. Yeah, that too.
Yep.
So it was a little bit frustrating. So like, I understand you're good at arm bars, but be good at multiple. Have options. You need options.
And the thing about where like doing jujitsu, it's a thing where you can get like lost in the time of trying to work something. So like it ain't always gonna be an open mat where it's just going. you got a time limit. Like,
Yeah.
like it, and sometimes when you're doing jiu-jitsu, you could forget that, especially like in a competition aspect. It's like you want to set this up as much as you can before you actually go for it, so you could be 100%. But it's like Tracy Cortez was just taking more risk.
That's true. Yeah.
That's what it was. Like shooting up for an armbar, that's not taking risks. That's extremely protective. You know what I mean? Like, because what happens? You know, she tried to stack her, and then what? A scramble.
Well, the commentators coached her out of that armbar. The one that was deep the first time, they coached her straight out of it. So, like, I know she felt extremely discouraged after that. So it was there, but after that, it wasn't there because she already knew how to get out of it after the first one. Because the commentators helped her.
That's crazy. People be forgetting that they can hear, like, they can actually hear the commentator. They can hear them
better than they can hear their coaches,
especially when like the arena is like not really crowded and people not in there. Like they can hear them, like because the whole arena has to be able to hear them. Like, so I don't know if they get it or not. I think it definitely is like a thing. Like speaking of this performance of the night, Andre Fiallo versus Cameron Van Camp. Andre Fiallo looked over at DC and gave him a wink because of all the coaching that he was doing.
Due to the commentator,
not even the coaching.
That is the commentator. That's how he won this. And he went over and high-fived DC afterwards. Like, come on, like, give him some of your purse.
And this is like, and it's like of course they train together. Yeah, that's the thing. But if he's in there and they're coaching, that's obviously like some type of favoritism inside of the fight, and
it just keeps happening. So like, what do you do?
And it's like that's just what happens when you have people who have been in the sport and they're a commentator. They get lost in, like, they try not to get lost in what they have done, but they still kind of say, I did this once or twice, this happened to me once or twice, and then they start to get in the coaching mode. And there's not really a lot of times where I was listening to the commentators and they're saying, well, what he needs to do is get this arm from under here.
Yeah, here's what you need to do.
And that helped me be like, oh yeah, now I better understand the fight. No, if he does it, then that's when you can commentate on it, because that's what they're there to do.
Exactly.
So I think they get lost in the coaching aspect, and they are commentating, which is shifting the weight of fights almost every fight. And it don't really happen inside of a fight where they're not familiar with both of the fighters. Like that happens.
That's true.
Like when they're not familiar with both of the fighters, they're talking about bullshit. They start talking about I remember, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about right now?
That's when they plug in the sponsorships and whatever they got going on, DCRC. That's when they start plugging their own stuff. So I don't know.
But back to the fight, the actual fight, Andre Fiallo did, that round one thing, and that was elite. People are sleeping on Andre Fiallo. I don't know if they're sleeping now, but Cameron Van Camp was supposed to be one of those prodigy guys coming up. And
but
really getting it done.
He also had DC coaching in his corner, with his other coaches. So
yeah, but Andre Fiallo alone has the talent there. So, but also he did have DC coaching, and
he can follow coaches very well. So
very coachable.
Yeah, very coachable. That's what an athlete is supposed to be. An elite athlete is supposed to be very coachable. So
speaking of being very coachable, Marcos de Lima versus Ivanov. This one was, this was definitely a big boy fight. Ivanov was not really wanting to bang with de Lima, but
he didn't, and then he didn't come out with much confidence. So like off top, it was like, do you believe you could win this fight? And I think he found it after round one, but round one was definitely, he was on his toes a lot. Lima had the speed, and he had him like scared in round one. So I think he actually, like, once that timeout happened, he just came out a new man, and then he dominated the fight.
I think he what helped him dominate was him swinging, get close to the cage and just hold in Lima.
Yeah.
Like I think once he felt the pressure in the first round, I think that change was him realizing like, okay, now I gotta go to level 2. He's been fighting for a while, you know.
Yeah.
He's not a, you know. So he's like, all right, I gotta go to level 2 because this guy's hitting me hard already, and I need to control his arms. So first thing he did, swing, even if they didn't land. Like I'm sure he didn't care if they land. He just knew that Lima was going to back up.
Yeah.
Got him against the cage, and then next thing you know, it's hold on to him city.
Yep, for 2 rounds.
Yep, they start booing too.
Yep.
That's like Lima was ready to get off, but at the same time, Lima was getting tired too.
Yeah.
You know, he was getting tired because he was exploding off everything. That shit would have got out of there, but Ivanov's head is not about to not about to shut off that quick.
Yeah, he got that champion chin.
No, some people head it just take more pressure to get to that point. But speaking of pressure to get to that point,
fight of the night.
Fight of the night, Brandon Royval versus Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell, y'all keep giving Matt Schnell these dogs. Y'all ain't shit for that. Whoever keep doing that, y'all keep thinking Matt Schnell that guy and giving them these dogs, and these dogs keep eating them up. That's the fact of the matter.
One hand guillotine.
One hand guillotine. I was
elite.
Took the words right out my mouth. Like, I don't know if it's just the difference in competition level, or is Matt Schnell just going into these fights and kind of just like just adrenaline dumping, and I don't know what's happening. Like, you know, some guys like they get under the lights and then that's when it's just like shut down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too. But for Brandon, he definitely capitalized on it, and he saw opening and took it, and got the fight of the night.
See, Brandon Royval is a dog. He's gonna he's one of those guys. Like,
love it.
He's going to be in a dog fight. That's why I see him one of the flyweight guys that's coming up. So will he wanted a title shot? He called out a title shot. He said he wanted a title shot. What?
Either way, I'm excited to see him again.
What?
I want to see it and see what he got.
Oh, yep. I want to see more Brandon Royval for sure. Like, I don't even care who he's fighting. I just know that like the fight gonna be lit.
They gonna have to elevate his people.
He need to go up.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon Royval on the fight of the night. Next, we got Macy Chasson versus Norma Dumont. And this one was a split decision. When Macy Chasson she did kind of like the same thing that Ivanov did, and she held her as much as she could when those hands got loose.
Yeah.
Got Norma Dumont on the ground. But Norma Dumont seemed like she was getting right back up.
Yeah, for the most part.
Like, it seemed like she was getting right back up, and it was just more so cage control.
Yep.
And I don't know if Norma Dumont was like in the best shape. I don't know if she was, you know, in the best shape in the sense of like conditioning wise.
She seemed tired.
Yeah. Faster than, you know, she normally would. You know, sometimes like I don't know if they were saying that she took the fight short notice, but it just seemed like she was just kind of like a step behind in some cases.
Yeah.
And Macy Chasson was just kind of on it. Like Macy Chasson won that fight by just being first.
That's true. So it's important to be first.
Shout out to Macy Chasson on the W. Speaking of W's, Francisco Trinaldo,
man,
holding it down for the OGs versus Danny Roberts. Danny Roberts, I know this motherfucker still like he was probably in the shower like, what the fuck? This old man got these unanis off me.
Yeah, but first round, Roberts was going nonstop, like just nonstop. But Francisco, he was applying constant pressure on him in round 1. In round 2, he came out with the body attack all over the face, body and all. So, you know, and then they start straight banging at the end, but it's kind of like too late. You know, Francisco made the bigger impression. So, but I still think Danny Roberts did a good He did good. Yeah, I think it was a learning experience for him, and he's definitely gonna get back in the gym.
It's like if there's any danger I've ever seen Francisco in, that was the first time I've really seen him in the most danger. You know. So if anything, like, because I never seen him like shooken up a little bit, because it was, I think it was maybe a time that he buzzed him, and it was, he got shaky, but he kind of bounced back into it. In the first round, Danny Roberts, he was throwing a lot of punches, but the thing about Francisco's guard, it seemed like a lot of them was rolling off of his hands and his arms. So I don't really know if it was really causing that much damage.
Yeah,
but Danny Roberts was definitely like, I could see like between first and second round where he got discouraged.
Yeah.
And he started to just throw what he can throw,
Yeah, but that goes back to being a well-rounded athlete and not counting yourself out and, just taking that time to each round is a new round. You can't get discouraged and hold on to that. So otherwise it's going to show.
That's why I make my bets at like the face-offs. I see the face-offs, the second face-offs. That's why I'm willing to make my bet right there, because like that's going to tell you right there. You can see in those milliseconds like how those people are really feeling about that fight. Like them jumping up, them breaking eye contact first. Those are big moments. Like people don't think those are big moments, but those are big moments. And I don't think they are 100%, but I think they are a percentage, a big percentage.
Absolutely.
It's a combination of things.
Absolutely.
Speaking of combinations, goddamn.
Swoop, swoop.
Randy Brown versus Chaos Williams. Why y'all do this? Y'all be really this is that thing. Like there are so many fighters in the UFC. So many fighters in the UFC. And it's just like y'all can always find a way to find like two black fighters to fight. Like, I don't know. It's way more white people in the UFC, way more other races and demographics, but it's just like y'all always find a way. Like,
I don't know. To find a go-to.
I don't know if it's some type of little weird thing that y'all gotta do. I don't know if it's like what it is.
A limited amount of spaces.
Like, because like I know other people probably see like, oh yeah, it's just Randy Brown, Chaos Williams, it'd be a fire fight, it'd be an awesome fight. But it's just like Andre Fiallo could have fought one of them. It's almost like they have to figure out which one is the better one. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. But shout out to Chaos Williams, shout out to Randy Brown. Randy Brown figured him out. And used his length and just made that what it was the whole night.
Yeah, but he was playing too much. That's like the only thing. And he was fucking up the leg and slapping that man in the face. Just playing.
Slapping him hard as fuck.
Slapping him in the face, in the knee to the face in round 3. He was just like being disrespected. But also DC was coaching for Williams in round 1. It seemed like they his right thigh was hurting even in round 1 from the kicks. And so he was also dropped in round 3. So I can understand how it went the way it went, but Randy Brown was playing with his food a lot.
Yeah. But it's just like, you could say he playing with his food, but you got Chaos Williams in front of you. Like, he understood his power early in the fight. So it's just like, he's like, all right, yeah, but at the same time, he still was like playing with his food. That is kind of weird. Like,
he was slapping, like he was legit slapping the man with his fingers. Just
I think that he was just trying to get the maximum anger, maximum like aggression out of Chaos Williams, so he could like see everything. I think once he got touched, he was like very skeptical, and then it was like he wasn't sure if he saw everything. He was like, he needed to make sure, and why he do that? That's when he was touching him up. Chaos was being very short with his punches.
Yeah, but I think this was also a learning lesson for Chaos. I think his next fight, he's definitely going to come out a lot better, a lot stronger, and I think a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, he gonna want that shit in round uno.
Exactly.
But Randy Brown is, a different puzzle to solve, and I saw like a lot of qualities that Israel Adesanya has that he uses. And I think that Randy Brown just keep it up. Like he might be in that spot one day, especially in the welterweight.
Yeah.
If you do the right thing, because he got that power. He got the power in his hands as well. So he know how to move his feet. And
he got a ground game. Yep.
Keep going up. Next, Ovise Prue versus Shogun Rua.
Yeah.
Why y'all keep doing this, UFC? Why y'all keep doing this? What you think about that one, B?
There was not a lot of risk taken, and Ruth feared the KO from St. Preux. And so, and also the front of Ruth's body was red in round 1. So he was already pissed off, and I think he was just trying not to get knocked out, and just wanted to stay like coasting a bit. He didn't really want to take too much risk. I get it, but I don't get it, because if you're already down, you really don't have nothing to lose. But I think people are willing to accept a decision loss versus a KO loss. It seems much more impactful if somebody knocked you out versus we go to decision. So
yeah, it's like if he get knocked out, then that conversation with Dana might be tonight other than another night. Yeah. Like, hey man, hey, might need to, because it's time. And I'm saying, like, come on, y'all just be y'all really, I don't know, kind of be tarnishing the guy's legacy when you fight them past their prime. And now I can see if they're winning, but that's a difference. Like one loss, like, all right, that should kind of, especially just if you assess the loss and you see that, like, I was just a step behind. If that's one person that you was a step behind and they're not in the top 15, then just go ahead and understand that, like, maybe that's not what it is. Maybe it's time to pivot.
You're right about that. Because it's just gonna get worse as you continue to fight. Yeah,
but then you might get that one.
Yeah,
and then
but
that's one.
They also still willing to fight. So I think it's also, you have to step outside of your pride, and then it goes back to being a well-rounded athlete. Like, when to call it quits. Because Michael Chandler, they was ready to count him out.
If he received any more hands from Tony Ferguson, he would have went out. So I would not be surprised if it was like if they felt that he needed to run that back one time. If they felt like they needed to run that back, I would not be surprised. Tony Ferguson looked good. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Yeah,
he looked good. Michael Chandler is like the good luck Chuck of the UFC. Like, when you beat Michael Chandler, that's when you can go to the next level and fight for the title. That's when you
cannot pass go until you fight Michael Chandler.
You like the top tier gatekeeper at this point, where
you
like making other guys look good, and like that's what he's doing right now, until he could just get back in there and actually start fighting technically and then win some fights like he just did.
That's true. But Ferguson, he dropped Chandler in the first round, had them nasty elbows and opened Chandler up with a punch, and it dropped him round 2 as well in the beginning. So it's like Michael Chandler just went into, like, we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna do this and see what happens. I'm getting my ass kicked already. And it just so happened to work out for him.
He went back to like the football field when they was kids, and they had to punt the football from the other side of the field to the other to one end to the other side. That's when he went back mentally. He had to, because that was not like no technical martial art kick. That was like a straight up punt. Like, that was a punt, and then he was fucking surprised.
He was, but he got it though. He got it. But DC was coaching for Chandler in round 1. So. Oh
yeah, and Michael and Tony Ferguson was like still piecing them up.
That's true.
Speaking of piecing them up, we're not piecing them up.
None of that happened.
Well, never mind. We're gonna give this fight the same energy that they gave us.
Ooh, real quick.
5 rounds of absolutely nothing.
Well, Carla, as far as she was trying, but Rose kept running. She didn't want to get wrestled to the ground because she ain't had no ground game. And in the last 7 seconds of the 5th round, she took her down and was like, yes. She really thought she won that fight. She may have won that round, but not the fight. It was like, are you serious? She took you down every other round and you got back up. Yeah, Rose was very quick about getting up, but that was the only thing she was quick about. And it was just like, girl, you just gave this belt away. Gave it away.
She really let her have that belt. She really let her have that belt. Split decision.
There you go.
What irked me was the post conference when she was talking about how, I know what she wants to do. She just wants to take me down. So why would I let her take me down? Like, but you're avoiding this. So you're saying that I'm avoiding the actual danger to be able to engage in this fight because I know that she'll take me down. What happens when she takes you down? That's the issue. If you're worried about being taken, people who not worried about being taken down, they don't worry about it. What Islam say to Charles Oliveira, your jiu-jitsu won't work. Your jiu-jitsu won't work. That's saying I'm willing to go on the ground with you to figure it out. So like we're gonna give it this fight the same energy that they gave us. Shout out to the champ though. We're not about to do that. Shout out to the champ because you were coming forward. You did your thing. Anybody that's giving you shit, fuck them, because you definitely was moving forward. Next, speaking of fuck them, whoever said that Charles Oliveira is not the champ, fuck him.
Yep.
Charles Oliveira is the champ, but 0.5?
0.5 though, like that. Come on, 0.5, dog. He's still 155. 0.5. All I'm gonna say is it seems to be an issue when there is a minority in a champion position. That's and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Charles Oliveira, he won it. Justin Gaethje, first round. At least Dustin made it to round 3. He thought it was sweet. It wasn't. Yeah, you knocked him down, but Charles Oliveira said he gonna get back up every time, baby. Every time. And he just showed it. And it goes back to being a well-rounded fighter, having multiple weapons, not just just going out slaying and banging. That can't be your only weapon.
Exactly.
So that just proves it every time.
And it's like Gaethje just fell right into the trap though. Like
yes, he did.
It was like throw punches. Like I'm throwing punches just to get close to you. Like I'm not throwing punches to complete and it's like he's trying to back him back up so he can get his punches off. No, he's close now. That's the issue. like
he didn't recognize the danger.
Because keeping distance is not Justin Gaethje's thing. He's like, come in so we can brawl and do all this extra shit. No, Justin Gaethje, he wrestles. Yes, you could sit down in the wrestling room and talk about the wrestling pedigree and all that extra shit, but on the ground is on the ground. Your neck is open on the ground.
On the ground. He gonna move around your body.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly what he did.
Jiu-jitsu is different. Like to know wrestling and do jiu-jitsu, that's awesome. But at the same time, jiu-jitsu versus wrestling, that's why like if you Charles Oliveira and you're creative, you want to make it happen. Exactly. He's creative and he made it happen. He's well-rounded. He's not one-sided. People know Justin Gaethje way more for him throwing the wild overhand rights than for him to do any wrestling.
Charles Oliveira can do both.
All of it. So it's just like that's why the next fight should be him versus Islam. And
I'm here for it.
Charles Oliveira is saying that Islam should fight Dan Rush first. I don't think so. Nobody thinks so. So if Charles Oliveira, if he takes another fight before Islam,
he's trying to do Conor McGregor.
We might have to put that in the realm of ducking. We might have to go over there because you know what I'm saying. We unbiased over here. I'm unbiased over here.
Real quick. Here's what I want to say to that. I think he's trying to get his bag back because champions make different money from anybody else. So if he's trying to get Conor McGregor, he's trying to get that money. And if he takes Islam after that, I'm cool with it. But if he take anybody else besides Conor McGregor before Islam, then I'm a little skeptical. I do think it'll be a great fight, though. I think that will be his toughest fight, but I still think he'll come out on top.
Who? With Islam?
Yes.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take. She closing it over Islam. I don't know like that. She going 100%.
No, I am with Charles Oliveira. So
100%.
I'm with it.
I think Islam going to take it. I'm gonna be honest. I think Charles Oliveira, he already trying to divert the fight away.
Hey, so I think he's trying to get his bag up. But if they do fight, I'm betting on that fight, and I'm gonna bet on Charles Oliveira.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
But if he take any other fight before Islam, I might have to, tweak that a little bit.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You can't be running, my dude. You can't be out here running. Like, accept the challenge and let's prevail. Let's get it done. Knock this motherfucker out or submit his ass. Either way.
Exactly. One or the other. But either way, right now you're the champ. That was some fluke shit. If it was Justin Gaethje, they wouldn't have did all that.
Some whole shit.
All that
minorities,
extra shit.
They always trying to do something with minorities, but
But hey, that was another episode. That was the RoundHouse RoundTable. We appreciate y'all stopping by, rocking with us. Make sure y'all go catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We always on there talking shit. So just make sure y'all pull up on us anywhere y'all can. All the streaming podcasts, we there. Make sure y'all come find us. It's the RoundHouse RoundTable. Hey, we out of here.
That's why I use the heat as a sword, cause keep the peace is important. They go keys for you. Say please. That's one, please. Don't need. No one, that's two, please. Don't leave. That's 3, 4. If you do.